Do you want me to ping Walker for you? Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back to our stream. Today we have the grand finals for Tier 5 Mixed. And on the left we have Bliss Excelsiors, and on the right we have Lykaios Garm. We have Solaire in the camera, and me and Mango are your casters. Hi, Mango, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing fantastic.
Yeah, so we're at the grand finals right now, so it's all or nothing, really.
We just got some interesting bands too. The with the Lucio, Hazard, Sim, and Juno band. Basically, no mobility from either teams.
Yeah, like we're running with no speed here on the support line. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm seeing ball being able to be selected here. I don't think that should be a thing. But anyway, yeah, so would we like to have a little talk about these bands then, Mango?
Yeah. I think the Hazard band is a good pick, mostly because Hazard is kind of really good at the moment. I think they banned Sim because she's also good at the moment. But the Lucio and the Juno, um, they're just not gonna have no mobility. But I guessing, what they're gonna do is just gonna do a full-on poke comp.
From both teams, probably,
Yeah,
yeah?
for both teams. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, both teams are going Orisa Soldier, but the support line and the other DPS kind of mixed.
Yeah, 100%. And it looks like we're just about to go in now. With both teams are just coming into the middle point now. It's going to be very interesting to see who starts the momentum off here. Like, who's going to get to this point first, who's going to hold it down, and who's going to cap it first. That's really important to start off the game really strong. We are coming in with some hope. We do see Persky falling quite low here with Shadowy also falling to half health here. However, it does get healed by his support. With Arrow also falling super low. However, no one's able to finish off right now. We do see this Orisa hard pushing onto Diana here with Suko getting a pick onto Ikshvin. With then Turget getting a pick onto Tark as well. With Excelsior having no support, they're going to have to just either die or get out here.
And I think they're playing this quite well. The soldier is just taking off angles all the time, while the Orisa is just pushing forward in the front line, while the soldier takes the off angles so they can poke.
Yeah, we've seen Lykaios Garm be very dominant in this Kaizen tournament at the moment, currently undefeated. So it's very interesting to see if Bliss Excelsior can break the streak in the finals. Let's hope they do. You never know.
Yeah. But oh yeah, the soldiers are having a bit of a 1v1 right now, but Excelsior is coming to help.
Yeah, and Shadowy is falling really low here. They just definitely need some heal from his support here, as he's very low as Harissa dabbling him right back there. However, Ichbin just get a pick here onto Bath with Arrow getting 2 picks here onto the break and the Arissa. That means it's going to be a point switch here for Bliss Excelsior.
I like Arrow's off angle here. He's not only is he being very annoying on the side angle, but that also gives his front line to actually be able to push in and actually finish up these kills while the Arrow gets this off angle. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, and we are seeing as well that Lykaios Garm like to come up from that top bit up there just to drop down onto the team. With Shadowy is falling quite low here. Our break does come to help Shadow here with Battle coming out from Garm here. Crimson and a huge anti coming out from Tarkler, getting onto Crimson and Blue. However, no one's able to follow up with it. We are seeing Shadowy use ult here with the combination of a Tracer ult onto Shadowy. We had a lot of ults come out here, and it has gone to the side of Garm. That's a very great fight for them, don't you think? I mean, with Bliss Excelsior using a lot of ults, and unfortunately just not winning that fight, that puts him in a really rough position, right?
Yeah, I mean, all you really have, all Excelsior has is Rally, yeah? Which I don't know if this is going to be enough going into the Visor, yeah?
Yeah, especially because obviously visors are very strong ult if used correctly, and we are playing in tier 5 here, so a lot of people know what to do here and know how to use their ults. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And we do see this Soldier come out, but we did get a huge anti from Tark there. I'm really enjoying Tark's antis here. He's constantly getting them at very crucial moments, with Suko then getting a pick onto Arrow when we do see this Briggle come out. However, 2 of the team has fell, and it is just the Brig by themselves, and they do get picked here by any Blue. Unfortunately, I do think we will be seeing this go to Lykaios Garm here. However, we do get the touch here with the Tracer. Just managed to get a touch here. We do see ball coming, however, it is pushed back.
Unfortunate. Wasn't able to get the touch. I feel like if the ball hit that point, they probably would have gotten a longer soul, and the team would have came back to probably cook something up. But you know, but both teams running this Orisa is actually really interesting. I like seeing it. Yeah, I'm an Orisa guy myself. You know, I love Orisa.
Yeah, we do like to see the Orisa here. We need a pause. Give me 2 seconds.
There you go.
We are having a pause here.
Well, we are seeing like a mirror from both sides besides the support line. You know, both teams are outing to pick the soldier tracer, and both teams are also picking the Orisa. It's just both teams seem to have a different support line. I do think that Team Excelsior's support line is actually way better than the opposing team's support line, though, because the anti is just so strong.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk with this anti. It's very showing off right now. I mean, the second the BAP ulted, we got the anti, and then the second the soldier ulted, the anti as well. All very great, very great antis from them there. But I mean, as we just saw then, Garm is showing why they're undefeated right now. As I mean, as much of it was a bit of a back and two, we did see a lot more dominance from Lykaios Garm. Especially on this Orisa and the Soldier and the Tracer. I think that Tracer a lot of the time has been getting some really good, good picks quite early on here.
Team Excelsior was doing really good too. I think Garm has it just put together. You know, I think that what's his name? Gon's Tracer is actually doing phenomenally right now. Like each fight, you see him opening up with a pick, And that's what you want from your Tracer. Just always opening up with either a pick or being a nuisance in their backline.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what Tracer's for. They're really good at just being a distraction, which is really good to see that they are doing that, and they're also really excelling at that as well. But you know what? Like the thing with finals, obviously it's first to four, so it can really show how teams can jump back and push back again. So, this map might not be the great map for BX, but in the future games, they might be able to pull it back. However, obviously, it's not over yet.
We'll just have to see how things go.
Exactly. I think both teams are ready now, so we will be going back into this. Interesting to see that. I don't think there's going to be any swaps right now. It looks like Lykaios, Garm are maybe sticking to what they know right now. I mean, it worked last map, so they definitely want to see how it goes. We are seeing Arrow swap over to this Soldier, though, instead. Definitely a good choice here, as you might just want to mirror what the other team are playing DPS-wise. As we see, both teams are coming up from this top angle here. Tracer is looking for a little bit of a Tracer 1v1 in the bottom bit here, with the bat falling quite low here, with a huge anti from Tark onto January, however, not able to follow up. However, Arrow does get a pick onto Crimson here, meaning that they're going to have to push in now. They're down a support. I mean, you definitely can push in on this, with the rest of the team falling quite low, with Ichvin getting a pick onto Turget, and then Shadowy also getting a pick onto January. What do we think there, Mango?
I actually think that them taking their time going into this, because people usually think, oh, we got to pick, we just got to go in. No, normally, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes whenever you get a pick, sometimes you just have to sit there and wait for your opportunity before you can go in, actually.
And we did just see another huge anti from Tark, enabling them to get both the support again. I mean, these antis, man, are just crazy. Like, I don't know how they're doing it, but we do see Suko, though, getting a pick onto Persky. However, I think they are forced back here, right, Mango?
Yeah, these Tracer 1v1s are going pretty hard right now. Yeah.
I think we've just seen a greeting come up, if I'm not mistaken, Solar.
Uh-oh.
Here. Yeah, I mean, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings!
Always love to see it, but we do see Arrow then get a pick of January. This Excelsior are looking to keep it quite on lock here on this high ground, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Arrow, Shadow, they're all doing well on this high ground. This high ground position is just the most strongest high ground position for the comp that they're playing. And just going into this like head on, I think Guan just need to go, go low ground and try to force them off the high ground there.
Yeah, but with 4 up here, we do see Anna will come out here with Shadowy, then get a pick onto Crimson. And then with the break falling quite low, we do see the break come out, and then we do see a double Arythral here. Is it going to get anyone here with a huge anti-Tark, making January fall very low so Persky can finish it off? With Ichvin then getting a pick onto any blue, we do see Turget bring out these double visors from Arrow and Turget. However, with the rest of the team dead, I don't think you're going to be able to do anything there.
Yeah.
And it's now 1-1.
Yeah. Like I said, the Ana is just so strong. Like this anti is so strong, and especially with that high ground position that they had, it was that you couldn't get them off the high ground without getting anti.
100%. Like every time they tried to engage, we've just seen this huge anti come straight out, which is very good to see. Like they're very controlled Ana anti-is. Sometimes, I mean, as an Ana player myself, I feel like sometimes I always tend to overthrow it or like underthrow it. These always seem to hit every single time.
5, 4, 3, 2,
like a high value player out there.
Yeah, when we are in tier 5, Mango, you know, it's exactly what I want to see in this tier. As we do see both teams are coming in here with the soldiers, just trying to get a bit of poke damage onto each other here. January is falling quite low. Unfortunately, the Anti doesn't find anyone, but Crimson is also falling very low. However, Brig is right there to help them. With Arrow getting a pick onto Turgid, and we do see that Immortality has been used here, with then a huge Anti onto January here, falling quite low, forced back into this little area. However, they do just jump off the map as a reset.
Yeah, I keep on saying it every single time, but the antis are so good right now. But also Arrow and Percy, just on the off angle, able to get both of the enemy team's DPSs was a really good play also, man.
Yeah, I think they're also quite good at acting on these anti-airs as well. They're quite fast to engage on it. However, though, Shadowy is falling very low here. Does have to pull back to his support, with the Brig falling very, very, very low. And I think we do get picks here from Crimson and Suko onto Ixpin and Shadowy, forcing their team back, with January just finishing off task there. We have seen a swap out to Venture here. What do we think about that, Mango?
I think the Venture is actually a really good thing, because the team can't go on this off angle with the Arrow and Percy. They've just been sending them out every single time. So this Venture is just to put more of a front line damage, just to go in on front, you know, and it works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and starting off this fight, we get a huge sleep onto Crimson as he does use his Batball here. With double Orisa coming out, we have got a huge immortality from Crimson. Unfortunately, with Persky finding a pick onto Crimson there, with Turgid also getting a pick onto Targ, and the break here with Shadowy just jumping off the map as a reset, we do see that both DPS are kind of caught in their backline, who is going to get found out here from the rest of the team. That's a very unfortunate stagger onto Arrow there. Again, with Lykaios Garm, I mean, I'm just liking how they're able to bounce back really fast here. I mean, last map was unfortunately for them. They couldn't really find the stepping point, but in this map, they're really working on that.
Yeah. Excelsior has their Nano coming up, so they might actually go in with the Nano Visor.
Yeah, we do see this Nano come out here onto the Orisa, which they do end up clearing up with. Shadowy getting 2 picks here, with then Arrow and Persky also getting a pick onto their DPS line. As I said, I mean, it's just back in two with both these teams. You can clearly tell the skill range from both teams is very good right now.
Yeah. And the good thing is that they actually saved Soldier ult, so they could use it for this next fight coming up. But but they also the enemy team does have Venture ult coming up, so if they are clubbed together, this could be bad for them, for Excelsior.
100%. But we did see that Soldier ult come out, and Lykaios Garm really did really well just to fight that out a little bit. However, the Brig falling super low here, and the Venture is looking to chase the Brig just a little bit as we are forced out from the rest of the team. However, Orisa does bring out the ult here, killing January though, but Any Blue does get a pick onto this Brig, with Persky then get a pick onto Turgid, with then Suko getting a pick onto Arrow here, using Venture ult here. Very back and two here, with Blue then getting a pick onto Persky, and then Suko then getting a pick onto Tarb, finishing this fight here with Lykaios Garm coming out very early.
Yeah, these teams are getting hot right now. This back and forth is just so interesting. Both teams are just like so well, playing so well right now.
Yeah, I just don't know who's gonna win here. Like, it's such a hard thing to tell right now. However, with ult-wise, we do see the Brig ult come out right now, getting an early pick onto Ixpin here. We do get slept onto January here, forcing them to have to push in without their tank right now. However, Shadowy falls really low, which just gets picked off by Turgid here, with Anna fighting for the life here, but we do see January use this Orisa ult to finish off this fight. Tracer might try and get a little touch here, unfortunately just doesn't have the time. So that means it's currently 1-0 to Garm. Just remember, guys, so this goes to first to 4 because it's the grand finals this time. So we still have 3 maps to pull it back if they can.
Yeah, we'll see how this thing goes. But as of right now, the team Gone is like looking really good with this Venture Soldier Orisa. I think we're gonna see a lot of Orisa in this game, and I think we're gonna see a lot of Soldier probably. Yeah. And
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, this is gonna get a lot of things are gonna go on in these couple of games.
Yeah, but I mean, guys, stay tuned. As we just saw there, it was very much a back and two, but we will be going to a little bit of an ad break here. So please come back and carry on watching for this such an exciting game.
Now entering King's Row.
Garm was just rolling them on that venture on that last map, and I think they just don't want that happening coming into King's Row. Since it's so
100%.
so tight, so narrow corners, narrow walls, venture would be terrible, and the Baptiste is super reasonable too. Between Garm, they did ban Cass and Soldier. The Soldier pick, I did see. I think it's reasonable because they don't want that Soldier going off that off angle again. That off angle soldier was just so putting in so much damage from both sides.
Yeah, Arrow and that soldier was doing quite a lot, wasn't they?
Yeah, and then the cast. I think the cast pick is just to stop like Freya or you know have reinfighting from Freya, but we're not seeing a Freya from either sides. So
Yeah, I
that wouldn't be
agree.
the case.
It also could be something on the lines of like something they don't want to play into. Like maybe we are seeing a little bit of this Pharah here. I don't know if they're going to stick the Pharah, but they might not want to go against a Cass here, especially with Cass's new perk. I mean, it causes a lot more on that. But we are heading in right now with coming out here on this Hazard. We've not seen Hazard yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. They are looking to rotate around just a little bit. However, Hazard is kind of just by themselves with this Tracer, but the Tracer and the Lucio just follow up here. With then Arrow getting a pick onto Birdhouse here. Very great pick to start off here as you lost your carry straight away. We are just seeing that Bliss Excelsior are just trying to hold a different angle here with Persky then getting a pick onto any blue here. With this May comp as well, it's a great pick for King's Row as May's a very viable option here.
Yeah, I think the May is a really great pick. It's stopping them from the rotates. It's stopping them from getting any damage done on their team. And I just love the rotations coming up from Excelsior with Garm. You know, as soon as they try to rotate to their side, they rotate to the opposite side, and it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, but speaking of that, January does get a pick here onto Arrow, which was a huge dive. Everyone just kind of jumped onto them straight away, which is very good to see. As we say, the level of gameplay we should see here is quite high, as it is 2 tier 5 teams here. But then January then getting a pick onto Persky here, then Turgid and Birdhouse getting a pick onto the backline. I mean, that was a very good dive from Garm here. I mean, they were quick to get rid of the Arrow straight away, and then they just jumped onto the rest of the team.
Yeah,
very interesting to see this.
I do think that I didn't see it, but I think maybe Arrow was late to the rotate because he was caught up in the backline a little bit. But good stuff from Team Garm.
Yeah, 100%. However, though, we do see Turgid fall quite low here, but they are forced a little bit to like get off this high ground just a little bit. However, we do see this Hazard just going a bit behind, trying to look for a pick on the backline. However, does get antied and falls a little bit low here, but Kiri does come in and cleanse here. Kind of just saving that Hazard. However, we do see Bob come out here right into the middle of the point with Arrow, then get a pick onto Suko. With then Nano coming out onto Shadowry. VX are just clearing up now. We did use a few ults there. I mean, I say a few. They used 2 ults there. As for Garm, only really used the 1, which is very good for them as they still have 4 ults now, right?
Yeah. This is good old management coming from Garm. Team Garm. Oh. And there goes the pick from Team Excelsior too.
Yeah, with Turgid just getting a pick right back onto Tark, and then Suko getting a pick onto Persky. It's very like back and 2 right now. I mean, it's 2 for 2. However, I do think Garm are going to pull out just a bit better here as they have got the remaining picks. As Shadowy is by themselves right now, probably going to get forced out by their team. They're going to have to try and get back here or just die, which is a huge ult for the side of VX, as they did just use that barrel and it wasn't really necessary. I do think they just wanted to get this tank pick solidified.
Yeah, That Pharaoh is pretty unnecessary, but we'll see what's going on because Team Garm does have the beat and they do have the downpour, so they might not even really need it if they get a good downpour.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm expecting to see this downpour about right now, yeah, and do get a pick here onto Arrow here with a huge beat from Blue. We do see Shadowy use ult here, but because of that beat, unfortunately not able to find anyone. What was such a good beat from that Lucio. With Suko then getting a pick onto Shadowy here, forcing the team to have to push back. It's looking like Garm are going to get this point here.
The downpour was really good, and then the beat following up the downpour was really good. So, good stuff from Team Garm. Now we just gotta see. We have a Bastion pick, which is quite interesting, since he's gonna be very immobilized. I think the Team Garm is gonna look on trying to dive him the most. Oh, but Arrow finds a pick on the Suko.
Yeah, it seems that BX are trying to follow a bit more of the dive comp now, as the Brawly Orisa tank wasn't really working into this really good hazard from January, so they are swapping over to the Diva now, with then Persky getting a pick here onto Turga here, forcing the team just to push back a little bit, as we've seen from both teams. Both teams are very good at just taking the fight back from both of them, which is really good to see.
Yeah, this Bastion's trying to get on the high ground right now. I think it would be good if he was on the high ground. But we do see the Diva from Team Expert. We do get the Nano Diva into the back line as they push it.
Yeah, both of the teams just like high out just a little bit. We did see an anti-smart from Tarek as well, but Garm did manage to get out in time and all alive still. So unfortunately it's a bit of a wasted nano ult there, as we do see an early Kiri ult come out here, but we do see a huge cleanso from the Kiri from Birdhouse, sorry, with then a huge ult from this Freya getting a pick onto Birdhouse, with then Shadowy following up with 2 picks here. January did get a pick onto the support, unfortunately I just don't think that's enough for them to push here, as Shadowy does finish off January here, with the Tracer getting found out just a little bit, luckily able to get out.
Yeah, this Freya is looking really well. I think this is what they wanted to set up, like whenever the cast was banned. I think the Freya is looking really great right now.
Yeah, Freya Bastion are just pumping so much damage in here, but we do see an ult come out here from this Tracer getting 2 picks here, with then January following up, getting a pick onto Ixpin, and then Blue finishing off Shadowy here. I mean, that was a great engage from Garm there. It's exactly what they needed just to get that momentum back now. So if I was inside of Excelsior right now, I'm gonna be thinking, now what should I do here? We do have this Bastion ult. We are coming up onto the Ana ult. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, I think we just do the same thing as what we did first game. You know, just Nano Diva in there. And this would be a perfect opportunity since they just used V2. Man.
Yeah, with then January getting a pick onto Ixpin here, with then Shadowy also getting a pick onto Suko. The 1-for-1 right now. Bastion ult does come out, unfortunately not finding anyone, with then January following up with a pick onto Park. However, Arrow does get a pick onto Bird, with January then following up again with a pick onto Shadowy. Arrow is getting these picks here, got a pick onto January, and then Persky finishing off this Lucio. I mean, I feel like Arrow just kind of saved it for them there, as them picks were absolutely vital.
Arrow is going actually bonkers right now, man. He is like, I don't know, he turned up the switch to 100 right then and there. That was crazy. Fighting 2 picks was so good for the side of Excelsior, man. Now they do have Nano Diva going into this. So, yep, there we go.
Yeah, and we do see this Nano Diva come out right now, getting a pick onto Cecil. However, Turgid does get the Tracer pick onto Persky here. Shadowy is going to force to pull back here and try and look for some other pick a bit back. We do see a huge pulse bomb from Turgid come out here onto Arrow. However, Shadowy did get a follow-up pick onto Bird's house. And then any Blue then getting a pick onto Ixpin. It's a back and 2 again. I mean, we do have 2 ults from the side of Garm and 2 ults from the side of Excelsior. Turgid then just clearing up with this Diva ult coming out, unfortunately finding any Blue here and being able to remix onto full health. Then we do see Zuko bring out this Sojo with a combination of Kirill here. Arrow unfortunately dying here, with then Zuko will then get a pick onto each spin. It is overtime, which is exactly what they need here, with then Turgid getting a follow-up pick here onto Shadowy. we do see then Tark unfortunately also falling, with then Suko getting a pick onto Persky. I mean, a great fight for Lykaios Garm. I mean, as I said, showing why they're undefeated in this tournament right now.
Yeah, the Garm just had with you know ended it with Lane and OC, and that was just it. And then the downpour was just icing on the cake.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then downpour and Lane is just such a is just unstoppable ultimate, and especially with this being T5, you know these guys are gonna hit their shots.
You know, 100%. I mean, I really like this Hazard, and I'm really enjoying Turkit and Suko as well. Turkit on that Tracer is doing a lot, getting these picks as well, and January is just in their face.
Yeah. We are seeing a. Oh, I thought that was gonna be an actual pick. They picked Lifeweaver. That would have been an interesting pick. Oh wait, if they actually run out on Lifeweaver, that'd be crazy.
I'll just see in January here, chilling on his rock, having a little sit down.
Yeah.
With overtime, it's looking quite good for Bliss Excelsior here, as I mean, if they're going to cap all three, you at least want them in overtime.
5,
Which is...
3.
Sorry, go on.
We're seeing a double hit scan from the side of Excelsior, but I think it's just an easy pick from Arrow, and he's gonna switch back onto the Bastion probably.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you always want to get this Widow out on this first point, just as you said, to get an early pick, maybe. And if it's not working, then you just swap. I mean, as your point is right here, your spawn, as we do see them swap over right now. January does fall quite low, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of here, but we do see a huge cleanse from Burb's house. However, a huge anti onto Suko and January here. Unfortunately, not being able to follow up on that. But January getting a pick then onto Eekspin. A huge pick for Garm there, as that's one of the supports down there. Anna is left open now, and we do see January follow up on that, but Arrow and Shadowy getting a pick onto Suko and Any Blue here, with January following back up on that with the Bastion. It's going to force this Excelsior back a bit, as it's 3-3 right now. Like, you know, he's got three people on both sides. He might try and engage a little bit earlier here, as they do have the spawn advantage right now. Shadowy does fall quite low, with January also falling quite low, with Burb using the cleanse here just to try and save their tank. We do see Turgit get a pick here onto Persky, and then Shadowy then following up a back, getting a pick onto Turgit here. January is in their back line, falling quite low though, with the Kiri coming in to save them with this cleanse. Suko then getting a pick onto Eekspin, and then January falling up onto a pick onto Arrow. Park is very low here, which Suko does follow up on, getting a pick. We do see this Zero come out, unfortunately not able to get the remake, as Any Blue just finish off Shadowy here. A great fight for Garm there, as it looked like BX was going to get the win there. However, they just managed to pull it back, and I think that's what they're really good at doing, bringing it back with two ults. With almost having all ults, we do see Akira come out very early, getting a pick then onto Persky, with Suko then getting a pick onto Arrow, and Turgit getting a pick onto the back line. I mean, that was just a quick rush fight for Garm there.
We're seeing a stagger.
Oh no. Oh, yeah. Very good stagger though from Garm.
Yeah.
It's forcing BX just to have to stay back a little bit.
Team Excelsior is actually doing really good at ultimates too. They have about like 4 ultimates coming up. It's just if they use it correctly, they'll be able to take this first point. But we'll see how it goes, because January, Target, and Any Blue does have the ultimate to counter.
Yeah, 100%, especially that Lucio ult is very crucial, with then Turgit getting an early pick here onto Persky. We do see Anti come out onto Blue, however, not able to follow up on that. With then Bastion ult coming out, unfortunately finding then Any Blue, with January getting a pick onto each spin. With Anna just getting out ult just in time before dying there, with Persky then getting a pick onto January, and then Shadowy following up on that, getting a pick onto Burb. They need to jump on this point and just try and get some ult percentage, some point percentage here, as the teams will get back in time with this Lucio speed here.
Yeah, I think we might see a touch coming in. Yeah, we're gonna see a touch coming in. I think that what they're gonna go in is with OC actually.
We do see a few ults come out there with Perky then getting a pick onto Suko, with then Perky getting another pick here onto Any Blue. Target just get a pick onto Perky, but then Shadowy getting a pick onto January, and it does look like Bliss Excelsior is going to get this first point here.
And this is a hot game going on right now, eh? It's like every turn is just like everything is just like so you just gotta lock in for everything, eh? And it's just a fun game to watch right now, man.
Yeah, especially with both teams just giving it their all right now, as it is the grand finals. Whoever wins this is the winner of Tier 5 Kaizen. So it's all or nothing right now.
Yeah, we do see Suko have the pulse here, so we might see him try to stick arrow here, right here.
Yeah, we do see the pulse bomb come out. Unfortunately, not find anyone, but Arrow does get a pick onto January and Suko, with January then get a follow-up pick on Persky. With then Shadowy getting a pick onto Turget here and just finishing off. I mean, this is great momentum for Bliss Excelsior right now.
Yeah, Excelsior is just looking so dominant right now, especially this Bastion. This Bastion is doing so much for them. I actually thought whenever he rolled out on this Bastion, it was actually just like a comfort pick, but they're showing that this is more than just a comfort pick. This is like an actual pick, and it's looking so good right now, man.
Yeah, exactly, and then Miriam and Hazard with a huge ult. However, we do see the cleanse come out here, with then Arrowy getting a pick onto Any Blue here, and then Shadowy also getting a pick onto Burb. We do see January in the backline, unfortunately not able to find someone, and is caught out by Arrow. And then also getting a pick onto Suko. I mean, Arrow in this Bastion, man, it's crazy. As much as I can see how well both teams are playing. I mean, I'm just seeing Arrowy, and I'm seeing January, and I'm seeing Suko, and I'm seeing Turget, and I'm basically just everyone. I can see everyone just playing so well right now.
Yeah, it's like everyone's doing so well that it's like hard not to watch. You want to watch everyone, but you can't.
You do, yeah. And we also see Shadowy then get this early pick here onto the Bastion, forcing them back into their spawn, as they need this to get this push time, as you want to cap this above 1 minute so you can make sure that you have a chance of just only attacking and them not even having a chance. And we do see a wall come out here to stop them from coming in with a huge anti. However, Cleanse does come out and cleanses them all with a huge ult here from January. However, Arrow gets a pick it onto Any Blue and Turget. We do see this Briggle come out as well, finishing the turn off. They got 1 minute and 49 seconds on the clock just to get one tick on this first point.
Oh my god, eh? January with that downpour was a good like it was a good ult. It's just that Arrow on the Bastion did so much damage for whenever Turget and Psycho, or Turget and Any Blue were trying to flank, that he just blew them up before they even tried to make the rotate to flank around. It was just Arrow's putting so much damage in on this Bastion.
I think Turget is doing quite a lot right now as well on this Soj, with January also doing a lot on this Hazard. I mean, Shadowy is mirroring this Hazard very well, as considering we've seen January do quite a lot on their initial attack into the Orisa that Shadowy was playing. Now it's reversed a little bit now. I mean, Shadowy is showing very good dominance on this Hazard.
You know what I'm thinking? Now that I'm seeing it, this Bastion is kind of like putting in the same work that the Venture was putting in for Team Grim, because like both Bastion and Venture are wanting to try to just roll over the front line and try to win these fights. So
yeah, I mean, all that BX has to do right now is just cap 1 point here. If I was them, I'd be trying to save ult and just trying to kind of get the ult win here, as Shadowy does fall quite low. It's kind of blocked off here from the rest of his team, and they are capitalizing on that a little bit. We already have pressure onto this point. Arrow does get a pick here onto Suko, with them almost denying that with 3 people on this point. Shadowy does get a pick here onto Turget, and they do get this map. It's currently 1-1 to both teams right now, with Excelsior pulling this win here. I mean, as I said earlier, I just don't know how this game's going to go. Garm wins 1, then Excelsior wins 1. it's just back in two. It's going to be a very interesting outcome right now.
Yeah, both teams are putting in so much work right now. And Arrow on this Bastion, as you see, is just, he was doing really well. But we got new bans next game, so maybe we'll see a new comp going into next map. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, 100%. And as you said earlier, we will be going to an ad break. Please stay tuned, guys, as this is some exciting gameplay to see. Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. It is currently 1-1 right now, so both teams have got 1 point each. They both took a map, and we have Lykaios Garm taking control, and then Bliss Excelsior taking hybrid here. We are heading over to payload here, well, escort onto Gibraltar. We do have some bans, if I'm not mistaken, Mango.
Yeah. So with Team Garm, they're gonna be banning Freya, and they're gonna be banning. They're gonna be they're gonna be banning Ash, which Freya, reasonable pick. If you give her these long sight lines, she's gonna do some dangerous work. Same with the Ash. So I guess they want to get that out of the way. And then Excelsior banned the Winston and the Venture. No wait, they banned the Winston and the Kiriko. Winston, I think they want to play Diva or Hazard. That's what I'm thinking. So they probably got rid of the Winston and the Kiriko. I think it's just to get rid of Suzu because they really want to play this
Anna here.
this Anna. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%, but you do also have Tarks, Anna. I think the final ban was Bliss Excelsior's, right?
Yep.
But I mean,
4,
as we said earlier, both teams are just neck and neck right now, so it's very interesting to see what they do here. We do see Shadowy here on the Diva, which seemed to work for them last game, as they are pushing up to this high ground where the rest of Lykaios Garm are kind of sitting in this little room, just trying to force them out of this high ground just a little bit, with Persky going underneath here with Arrow and Shadowy falling quite low here. However, just managed to get healing here with Crimson also falling quite low, with Rig just kind of protecting them here.
Yeah, we're seeing this this Diva versus Hazard dive, kind of. So it's just a battle of which is better, Hazard or Diva.
Yeah, exactly. With I think with Bliss Excelsior, they're trying to get cart progress while also just distracting them on this high ground. With the Diva joining them down below onto this car, as we do see them kind of drop down just a little bit with this Tracer, kind of just doing a bit of damage to make sure that they're not getting too comfortable on this car. We do see Hazard also jump down to assist this Tracer here with Turget on a little bit of an off angle here, trying to get onto this high ground with Tracer catching this thingy, unfortunately not being able to pick him off. With January then getting a pick hit onto Arrow. Tracer does fall quite low, but just managed to get out here, with January also falling really, really low here. They are forced into that little room with just Excelsior kind of just putting a lot of heavy pressure here onto the Diva dive. He does jump up to get Turget here with an anti coming out. We do see the Tracer ult come out from Persky here, just trying to get a pick onto Crimson. And then also a pick here onto Any Blue, with January then getting a pick onto Tark, and Arrow then getting a pick onto Persky. That does mean that Bliss Excelsior are going to push this first point here. It seems that Bliss Excelsior are really confident onto this dive, as Lykaios Garm is as well.
Yeah, the big difference between the Diva and the Hazard is just that Diva is gonna be way more mobile than the Hazard. So they're gonna have way more of a faster time setting up these dives than the Hazard. But then the Hazard just puts out so much damage and is able to block off so much. So it's just two completely different dives. So I like both sides.
Yeah, also with Diva, with that defense matrix as well, it's quite strong. As we do see this Anna using Nano here, and then Shadowy getting a pick onto Crimson here. You have seen this huge ult come out from January, enabling them to get a pick hit onto Persky and Ishpin here. I mean, that was a great ult from the Hazard, only using that two ults there from the Anna and the Hazard here.
And from the Team Excelsior, they have Visor and they have Bomb. Yeah. And they also have Rally.
Yeah, which we do see come out right now, but Perkit just got a pick here onto Arrow. Shadowy falling very low, but he does use his ult here. Unfortunately, gets picked off before the remake, which is huge for the side of Garm. Very quick to get rid of this Diva out of mech here. But then January getting a pick hit onto Persky again, looking like Garm are going to take this one. They're really strong here in the second point. They're not taking any stuff from BS here.
Yeah, the hazard is just so well at just holding space, unlike the diva, because she has like an unlimited, like limited DM, which oh.
But we do see a trade pick here from both the Tracer and this Soldier, enabling it to be in 1-1. We do see an anti here onto January. However, he's in a position that can't really be took out right now, as Shadowy is kind of busy going for this Tracer. Shadowy does get forced out of mech once again, but we do see Arrow bring out this Soldier here, with then also seeing Ichbin also pull out this Brig ult as well, with January then getting a pick onto Arrow, cancelling that Soldier ult. But we are getting quite a bit of card percentage here, with Turget then bringing out this ult here. Getting a pick here, probably onto the backline, as we're both very, very low here. However, Ichbin does manage to get a pick here onto the Soldier before getting took out by January. Again, I mean, every attempt that both Excelsior are making right now to push in, I just feel like these keep getting shut down.
Yeah, these nades from Crimson, and also the ability to whiplash from any blue is actually is really beneficial to Team Grim right now.
Yeah, they're showing a lot of confidence on this Anna Brig as well, with Anna always supporting them. We do see Anna will come out here onto this hazard, jumping onto the backline. We get a huge sleep from Tark here. Unfortunately, they still get the picks onto Ichbin and Persky, meaning that they're down 2 people here. They're probably going to have to pull out here, as Crimson then gets a follow-up pick onto Arrow, with then Turget then getting a pick onto Tark. Shadowy is forced out of mech here as well. Basically meaning that they're just going to have to pull back here, as they are just getting staggered just a little bit right now by January.
We are seeing the swap from Arrow to go over to the cast. I think this cast is going to be a great option to try to shut down the hazard and the Tracer, but we'll see what happens. We do have the Nano coming in, so they might Nano Diva going into this fight.
Yeah, but we have seen January with the hazard ult being very dominant here, normally always catching these people into it. And we have seen this Anna ult come out onto Shadowy here, jumping onto the backline. However, as to combat that, we've got the Break ult come out, and also a sleep, which is absolutely huge. Then Suko getting 2 picks here, and January then getting a pick onto the Anna. Unfortunately, leaving Shadowy just by himself. I imagine they're going to do a bit of a stagger again here, which we do see. Very unfortunate. We do see quite a few ults on both teams as well. Coming up onto the Diva and the thingy ult. Unfortunately, this Brig is forced into a little area by herself here, with Arrow falling quite low as well. We are looking to get onto this point right now, as January then gets a pick onto Ichbin here. With them, we do see the Soldier ult come out from Turget, with Suko, Turget, and January all getting a pick here. We do see Shadowy use his ult here, but I don't think we're going to be able to get a rematch just in time, and it is looking like that they're not going to cast this second point. I mean, what a defense from Garm here.
Yeah, like the hazard, the Ana, the Brig, the Soldier taking the off angle, and the Tracer just landing every pulse bomb that we see. It's just looking like a perfect gameplay for right now. It's just that Excelsior is having seeing a difficult time trying to push into this, probably.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they seem to have this defense quite unlocked here from Garm, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they attack it here. As, I mean, we've seen their hazard, and their hazard seems to be working on defense and attack as well.
We should probably see another. Yep, knew it. They're probably. Well, I knew they were going to go hazard themselves, but we're also seeing a Wu Yang. Maybe we get a first hand of seeing Wu Yang. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we've not really had time to practice Wu Yang in like a team comp, so it's gonna be interesting to see if they have already practiced it, considering the update was just yesterday. I mean, we had that little time when we got to trial him, but obviously he's been, changed since that point. So it's gonna be interesting if they do actually run out on this. So Mango, have you had any chance to have a little go at Wu Yang yet?
I love Wu Yang. He is a difficult hero to play, but once you get the hang of him, he's actually really fun. He's actually really strong too. He does a lot of DPS too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing it. However, we are seeing that Bliss Excelsior are mirroring this Ram as, unfortunately, I just don't think the DPS was working out for them in that attack there. And especially Arrow coming out on this Bastion once again. It's really interesting right now as we see them just use turret form here, and both the supports are forced here into this room. They are going to get picked off here with Xpin and Shadowy both falling very, very low here, and Turgid does get a pick onto Xpin.
Yeah, they're back on that Bastion now, that deadly Bastion. And not only are they have the Bastion, but they also are pairing it up with the Venture now. So, yeah, so much damage is just being put out from Team Excelsior.
To put it short, you do not want to be caught in a small room with them two characters.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna have too much fun.
Yeah, not at all. However, we do get a huge sleep onto Xpin here, and they do get the nano. Unfortunately, probably not able to follow up here, as we do see Shadowy on them in this backline here. I do think they fall quite low here. Just need to try and find his way out. Unfortunately, doesn't find a way out, and Tay does get a pick here onto Shadowy. What Garm need to do right now is just to rush in, as they are all going to scramble to get back with, as they don't have a tank here to fight this very dominant Hazard from January.
The ults from Team Garm are coming up too. We're gonna be setting Turgid get the ult too. We're gonna get a pulse from Suko, but we do see Tark put Arrow to sleep. So January.
Yeah, and then January just plays up with the rest of the team there. It is looking like they're going to get this first point here. With 4 minutes and a half on the clock, they only have to push it to the second point. They don't even have to tap second point, they just have to push it to just before the end of that point. They are definitely going to be rushing up here just to try and waste some time to get some card percentage, as we do see the Soldier up front on this high ground a little bit.
Yeah, January on top of the spaceship. He might just go for a downpour in the back line. Yep, and that's what he's going to be doing right now. He's going in.
Yeah, and we do see all come out here from Turgid, getting a pick here onto this bench here with January, then getting the follow-up picks onto the rest of the team here. I mean, it's already looking like they might be able to cap here, as they've got 4 minutes just to cap just a little bit. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this recontest, however, Venture is going to try. However, we are walled off here, and unfortunately for BX, and able to get it here, it is now 2-1 to Lykaios Garm. What a game for them. I mean, I just felt like Lykaios Garm was quite dominant on this map.
Yeah, it's just that January and everybody, they were just playing so well, so active. Every time you saw them, they were trying to make a play, they were going to the back line. I just that Excelsior didn't have an answer, and they were too late.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. However, I mean, as we've seen from the last map and the map before, this might not just been that map. You know, it might be a map that's not practiced as much, and it might be a map that Garm have practiced, as this was their map pick. But we will be going for a little break. It is currently 2-1 to Lykaios Garm. However, this could go either way. As I said earlier, it is first to 4. So as I said, stay tuned, guys, and pop back in after this little ad break. Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. It is currently 2-1 to Lykaios Garm right now. Some great maps from the past 3 maps. We are running into Runa Sapi now on push. What do you think coming into this, Mango?
Well, it's gonna be a lot. I think both teams are going back and forth at it, and these bans actually are looking good too.
If you'd like to talk about them, go for it,
Yeah.
King.
So with the bans coming from Garm, we're gonna see an Ana and Cast ban. I think they really want to run the Orisa maybe, yeah. And from the Excelsior, we're seeing a Haz and a Lucio. So maybe we'll see what we saw on map 1. We'll see. We're going into this.
Yeah, well, as you said, with that hazard ban, I mean, I just think maybe Excelsior just got a bit flustered with that hazard from the side of Garm in that last map, as January on that hazard was just doing so much, right?
Yeah, January on the Hazard is just a beast. And like every time he was just stopping them every single time, stopping the engage, stopping them from pushing the cart, being a tank.
4, 3,
Yeah, and being a
2,
tank they were.
1.
And we are heading in now. Both teams are going to be trying to run to this push map. It's going to be interesting to see if they kind of do a bit of a rotation, running out on the sim just to get the TP out to go back to the Tracer. We are running out on this Soldier Venture as well, which is interesting to see, as both teams have got the Adventure here. Both on the Orisa as well. I mean, Ichman is falling a little bit low, but it's managed to get back to his team. However, Shadowy does get a pick here onto Suko with Persky, then get a pick onto Turgid. I mean, it's looking like a quick cleanup here from Bliss Excelsior, with Ichman just fall quite low, but does manage to get out alive. We are seeing a Juno here as well, which we've not seen just yet, if I'm not mistaken, Mango.
I think the Juno is a perfect pick whenever Lucio is banned, honestly. And her ultimate is super strong also going into this with your Soldier, with your Orisa. It's just going to be even more strong, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some speed is very crucial, especially when like you don't have that Lucio, as you said earlier. But both teams are rushing in here with Shadowy getting a pick here onto Turgid. A very good early pick here. Are they going to be able to capitalize on that? Which they do, with Clark getting a pick then onto Crimson. With them Persky then get a pick onto Suko. January does get a pick here onto Persky, but unfortunately I just don't think that's enough for them to be able to do anything here. And they are going to cap this first bit onto Porsche, meaning that Bliss Excelsior does get a forward spawn here.
Yeah, I think the Orisa is definitely the Excelsior's strong suit. I think every time we've seen them on this Orisa, they've just been doing so well. So I think going into this match, I think they want to try and maybe force Orisa, maybe.
Yeah, and with the swap over from the swap over onto this, so definitely gonna help them here as January just pull out this Orisa ult, getting a pick here onto Ichman. And they do just clean up here. I mean, a great recontest there, as they definitely needed it, as Bliss Excelsior were getting quite a good push there as it was pushing into their spawn just a little bit.
That was a great ult. All they used was a Orisa, and that was easy enough to clean up. That's really good ult management from the side of Garm, and I really like that. And if they keep this up, they should be able to, you know, maybe try to squeeze something out.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see if Bliss Excelsior kind of use a bit of an ult dump here, as we do see this Brig ult come out from Garm, forcing their team just to push out the way here. Shadowy just used the ult here, making him quite low. Unfortunately, not able to find anyone, with Suko then getting 2 picks here onto Ichman and Persky, pretty much enabling them just to push us a little bit more, as, you know, Bliss Excelsior has lost forward spawn here.
Hello.
And then again, like Excelsior is just doing good ult management. All they used was one ult, and yeah, if they just keep it up, they should be able to get maybe the forward push.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, both teams got 3 ults right now. I'm probably expecting to see a Juno ult come out here just to help with the engage. We are seeing this venture go for a little sneaky behind them. However, I don't think they found anyone there. We are seeing ults come out here now from Garm here, using that baffle and the soldier as well, getting a pick here onto Persky as well. It's forcing their team to push back again. I'm really expecting to see some ults come out here from Bliss Excelsior in the next fight, as they are pushing very close to where they pushed up to, meaning that they're going to have to push it all the way back again. We are seeing Soldier ult come out from Arrow. Unfortunately, just get picked off very early here from Crimson. But Persky does manage to get a pick onto Suko. If they get a touch here, they might be able to win this fight with a few ults here. But I don't think they're getting a touch. The Rifter does get a huge ult here, getting a pick here onto Tark here. We do see the eventual ult coming out here. Unfortunately, not finding anyone. And both teams are just looking to get a pick here. But Arrow does get a pick here onto Any Blue. However, January does get a follow-up pick here onto Persky. I do think this is looking like Bliss Excelsior might take this point. However, they're going to get contested up on this hill here.
Yeah, this hill is going to be really like dangerous thing to push into. But Psycho does pop the ultimate here, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they're trying to find someone to use the ult onto. However, I don't think they're going to. We do have the Juno ult here, so I'm expecting to probably see it come out right now. As we do see the Juno ult come out right now, with Shadowy using the ult here, forcing out Lamp. Unfortunately, not being able to find anyone, but H-Pin just get a pick here onto January. But they might turn around with this baffle, as they are doing a lot of damage with this. Getting a pick here onto Tark. We are seeing the Juno, this break ult come out. Unfortunately, not finding anyone as of right now, but they do find a pick onto Any Blue, with them getting a pick onto Persky here. Some great picks there for them, with them Tark falling here to Arrow. I mean, that was a great fight for Bliss Excelsior. They did not manage to get the lead there, Garm, which is a great for Bliss Excelsior there.
Yeah, those are great ultimates, great stall from a team of Excelsior. Now, Garm does have the OC coming up, and Target with the OC has been doing really great. But Team Arrow does have the visor, so maybe something.
Yeah, 100%. Shadowy just get an early pick here onto Target, with then Persky getting a pick onto Crimson. That does mean that they're probably going to get the push here on top of getting forward spawn here. Persky now just clearing up.
Making steady progress.
Arrow still does have this ult, so they might just go in with the Arrow's ult, or whenever they engage, they might just pop Arrow's ult so they can push forward. But Grim does have January's ult, and there's also Suko's ult coming up online too.
Yeah, we also see this Orisa come out as well, with January then getting a pick onto Arrow, but Persky just get a pick onto Crimson, but then Suko getting a pick onto Targ. A lot of back and two picks here, because Shadowy also gets a pick onto Blue, with Target then getting a pick onto Persky. It's looking like it's going to the side of Garm here, as it's 3-1 right now. But Bliss Excelsior did get quite a push there, as now that Garm are going to have to try and push it even more this time.
Yeah, Suko and January have the ult. I think this is going to be a perfect ult duo for this going into this next fight. All they just have to watch out for is Arrow finding the pick, or Percy.
Yeah, 100%. With that early ult coming out here, January does shoot the Ripple, but not finding anyone though. But Suko does manage to clear up just before that. So I mean, although they used all the routes they had there over them break, it's looking like maybe Bliss Excelsior might be able to get this push back just again, as they do have this ventral and they do have this wriggle. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Making steady progress.
Yeah, Percy does have this ult, so we might see him go into the back line while Shadowy goes to the front line. Maybe do like a little bit of a pincer, maybe?
Yeah, 100%. We do see this break ult come out quite early here. Maybe just a pushing back, but we do see a retaliation break ult come out. With this back ult coming out just as well. January just managed to find Arrow here. However, they are falling just a little bit low. Both teams are just trying to get another pick here just to enable them. With Garm are getting some push potential here. We do see this Sojo come out. Unfortunately, not finding anyone as of right now. But we do see Tark use the Juno ult, forcing Garm to push back just a little bit here, with the Larissa falling very low and Arrow getting a pick here onto this Larissa. Basically making that the team just now have to die or get out here, which the rest of the team do clear up. However, Super just managed to get a pick here onto Itchspin just before possibly dying here to Shadow. 1 minute on the clock, Mango. This is very close.
Yeah, Tark with these like rays is just doing so well. Like just when you think that Garm is gonna be taking it, Tark gets that ray online, he pops it, and then it just wins the entire team fight. He's just been doing so well in this Juno so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some dominance on Tark on the support. I mean, with the Ana, the Juno, it's very great to see. I mean, we do see Garm push in here. However, I'll fall back a little bit with a huge ritual. Isn't going to be able to get anyone. However, we do get the pick hit onto Crimson. However, January does get a retaliation pick hit onto Tark, with Percy then getting a pick onto Any Blue. Again, Bliss and Excelsior are looking to get the team win here. However, Shadowy just falls quite low, does not want to get picked off right now as it's coming into 30 seconds here. You want to get some more push here.
Yeah, January does have the ult, Suki does have the ult, so they might. That's the perfect combo to get this this card going into your progress. Also, but they do have to be wary of Arrow's ult though, right? Going into this.
Yeah, if I was Bliss Excelsior right now, I'd be trying to force some ults out here, as you want to come into this overtime having ults here. I'd probably just try and dry fight this unless you can find an opportunity to win this.
And then here comes Suki's ult. They're going to be popping it with the January ult. So yeah, that's just a team fight right there. Going into this next one, Arrow and Percy's both have the ult. They're also going to be coming up on Rally also. So this might be it. If not, if Team Garm try to find a way around Excelsior's ults coming into this fight.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they have got this Sojo and they have got this Hercule as well. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here. I imagine they're going to wait till they get to this push spot and then all just ult at the same time, really, as they want to try and get this win here. And we are just seeing a bit of an ult cluster right now. However, Percy gets 2 picks here onto Crimson and January as well. It's looking like Bliss Excelsior going to take this right now.
Oh my. Yeah. They just ult
I
them.
mean, ult dump, but it worked for them as they were in overtime.
Nothing really you can really do to that. It's just like, it's just the ultimates from Excelsior. It was just way more powerful from the side to not stop to stop.
100%, but I really enjoyed Suko on this venture. Both ventures were doing a lot for both teams. But as we've seen there, it is now 2-2 to both teams. Such a great performance there, though, from both teams. As, you know, we're coming into the later bits of these games now. I mean, you have to make it to 4 points here. This is looking to me like a seven game series right now. Sorry, not 7 game series. A 7-game series.
Yeah, it's just like both teams are going back and forth. Both teams are really good at the game. Now it's just like, what do we ban next? Like now Hazard is open. That's good. So maybe Team Garm could get something back working again, or maybe Excelsior has some bans planned for that. You know?
Yeah, 100%. But on that note, we will be going to a little bit of an ad break, guys. Stay tuned, though, as it is very close to both teams right now, 2-2. We have no idea who's going to win this right now. But as I said, stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you after the break. Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. It is currently 2-2 right now. Both teams are really giving it a roll right now, and it's been really close every single map, I think. What do you think so far, Mango?
Both teams have just been giving it their all each map. We've just been seeing a back and forth from each map. Grim winning one, Excelsior winning one, Grim winning one, Excelsior winning one. So, you know, I like to see somebody's got to break the chain here. I feel like.
Yeah, 100%, and I think bans are very dependent for this map as well, as we are seeing this Orisa ban, correct?
Yeah, I think the Orisa ban coming from Grim is actually really good because Excelsior has been running wild on this Orisa ban. The Sim ban from Grim, though, kind of, I think they're trying to get rid of the mobility from Excelsior. From the point of Grim, though, they're banning the Venture and Tracer. They just don't want to deal with the flankers, I think, at all. So, understandable.
Yeah, 100%. As we've seen Garm on this Vendor and Tracer, they're also quite confident on that as well. And I was expecting a little bit from Malga here. I mean, it's a team that I've played against personally in Tier 3 that played a lot of Malga, which was absolutely horrible. But we are coming out in the SIG instead now. Flashpoint's a very interesting one, as it's another game mode that you can genuinely take it either way. As you've got to get to 3 points here. As we are running into this passive Genji, a bit of a dive here from the side of Garm, as for a lot more poke from the side of Excelsior. The Genji does fall quite low, but manages to come back to his support just a little bit here. With both teams that are looking to do a hard engage on the SIG, especially the SIG rock. It's going to really stop Hazard's movement a lot more if he can hit these rocks. Both teams pushing in. The SIG does fall quite low, but is supported by his Anna break here. Immort is forced out, however, from the back on the side of Garm. Both teams are just looking for this point here, which it does go to Excelsior right now, but Shadowy is kind of forced off this point as he falls a little bit low here, forcing this Hazard into the corner. However, Arrow does get a pick here onto Crimson, with then Ishpin getting a pick onto Burb here, and January getting a pick onto Ishpin, and again, they're just cleaning up here. I mean, great fight from both teams there. I mean, unfortunately, it went straight XVX, but again, great fight, right, Mango?
Yeah, I think whenever they rolled out on the Sigma, I was kind of worried, but it actually made it work. You know, this poke comp is actually doing really well, keeping January and Suko away from their team. So they're just putting out so much damage that they can't go in.
See, a poke comp is like Hazard's worst nightmare, as he needs to be in your face. However, when you're trying to play poke, you're trying to pull back just a little bit. But as we see, this battle come out quite early. We are countering that with a bit of a Bastion ult. However, January does get a pick onto Shadowy here. Unfortunately, Arrow doesn't find anyone here, but Perky does get a pick here onto Perkit. We're seeing this Genji ult come out quite early. He was quite low, however, just managed to get a pick here onto Xpin, with Tart getting a pick onto January. And we do see this Sojo come out from Persky quite early here. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to find anyone. He kind of is forced to get out here. As the rest of the team is coming back, they're probably going to look for quite a fast engage here. However, they're just going to try and find that pick first to enable them to come in, right?
Yeah, Shadow does have the ult, so they just need to look on the backline. I feel like just looking on a backline pick with his ultimate would be enough for this pick. But he just finds a pick on the Shadow and he goes in with the ult. He gets Nano too.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Unfortunately, not finding anyone with that ult here, and unfortunately using Nano as well. Very unfortunate for the side of the Excelsior. I don't think they have a good chance of touching here. However, with 20% left, they're going to need to touch, as you have got 96 on your points here. If you win the team fight, you have won this point here. I do see Sojo coming in from the side, maybe looking to get a touch here. Unfortunately, they do not get a touch here, so they are just going to run to this next point.
Yeah. January and Turget do have the ultimates online. They might try to look for something like a downpour, but I think Turget wants to try to save his ultimate here. The Arrow finds the pick on the Crimson, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think That's what BX do really well, is they're good at getting to the point and holding it down. It's just later on into it, when ults come into it. I feel like they struggle just a little bit into Garm's ults here.
Yeah, it's just Garm is ultimates wise is just so they're so good at managing their ultimates. I think the good thing that Excelsior has for them is that they're really good at setting up these angles, setting up these flank angles, making sure that they get picks. But then Grim just comes in with ultimates.
And we are about to see a huge ult from January here, getting pretty much everyone into that, but we do see Break ult come out to try and contest this. Shadowy is pushing here to stop them from using this back wall, and we do see that as well, this Bastion will come out. Unfortunately not finding anyone, as we did see that more, but we are seeing Bliss Excelsior just clean up a little bit here. I mean, both teams did invest quite a lot of ults here, but you are coming up to this Sig and Ana ult here with also the Soldier ult. As for the side of Garm, they only really have this Genji ult coming up, right?
Yeah. I think going into this, they need to go straight for the backline here. I mean, but Taka does have the nano coming online, so he might just nano his own break here going into this. But we do see Percy on this massive flank angle right now, right?
Yeah, we do see this early nano come out here onto the Shadowy, and we are seeing Shadowy use ult here. Unfortunately, again, not really finding anyone, but Crimson does fall quite low here. However, this huge Genji blade from this Zuko and Crimson there, they both just cleared up for the side of Garm, which is very good. It's what they needed. They invested a lot of ults there, and unfortunately, they didn't get any outcall. So it's exactly what Garm need, as they only now have this Soldier ult with when they do have quite a few ults here. They're really sitting in a really nice position here.
Percy is in their spawn. he's just on an adventure trying to get these picks off, and it's kind of working, not gonna lie. He hasn't died, he's been getting picks, and he's about to almost get a pick on the Turkish.
Yeah, we do see Shadowy get a pick here onto Crimson, a very good early pick, as we do get a huge sleep there onto this Genji. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get the pick off here, as January does get a pick here onto Ixpin. And Arrow falling quite low, as January then getting another pick onto Ixpin. Again, I just think this is going to the side of Garm, as they might get a counter switch here. Unfortunately, they don't, and Shadowy is probably going to get staggered here. And it is looking like it's going to the side of Garm once again. 2-2-0 currently. Looks like Excelsior really need to lock in here and just try and get this like reverse sweep here.
Yeah, they've just been getting us to 99, and then as soon as they get to 99, it's just they switch it over to Garm, and then Garm takes it all the way. They just need to break this chain.
They do, 100%. Getting so close and then just losing it at last minute is really unfortunate for the Excelsior. But that's not to say that Garm aren't putting in amazing effort to enable that. We are seeing this ult come out from the Hazard again, catching quite a lot of people, with Shadowy pulling a few people into it. However, with that huge amount, we're not really able to find many people here, as it is looking like Garm are going to have to.
Shadow had a lot of people.
Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry. Shadow had a lot of people in that ult. It's just that nobody was able to break the Immor in time. I feel like if he broke this team broke the Immor in time, that would have been a huge 3K from Shadow. Yeah. But I mean,
yeah,
Grim does have the window now, so we'll see.
Yeah, and it looks like Bliss Excelsior are going to kite this out just a little bit with the Bastion ult coming out. Unfortunately, not finding anyone, but it's getting quite a few people low. Target does bring out this Soldier ult, and I don't think we're going to find anyone as of right now, but we are looking with the Genji ult also coming out onto this break. We do get the break ult out. Unfortunately, we do unfortunately get picked off there, with Shadowy then getting a pick onto Target here, and then also getting a pick onto Crimson. This Genji's really low, getting a follow-up pick again onto this. I think they will try and stagger that Hazard there, but we don't see that happening.
And Shadow is just doing so great right now. But Grim does have the ult coming, the ult advantage going into this. Tark does have the ult, so they might just do a nano visor here. But they do have to watch out for the Brig ult coming in from Grim.
Yeah, and especially with Grim also coming around this high ground. Arrow does try to get a pick here onto Suko, but Turgid does get a pick onto Suko. With Jeremy then getting a pick onto Targ. Unfortunately, I think it's another case of where they get to 99 and they just manage to take it back again. I mean, that switch to Bastion was a huge switch from Garm there.
Yeah, I think they figured out that this Bastion is doing a lot of damage, so they try to. I guess they're trying to do it themselves, and it's kind of working.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that Bastion just relayed so much damage, and unfortunately, they used quite a few ults there in that battle. So Garm are looking like they've got the ult advantage right now.
Yeah, Crimson has this window, so he might try to pop it here whenever they push it online. He's looking to pop it though. Oh, huge purple from Takara though.
Yeah, we do get the nano come out here. Unfortunately, Shadowy does get caught into this hazard ult here. However, Shadowy Arrow getting these hits here with Suko then getting a pick onto target. Unfortunately, I don't think that's enough, and it looks like Bliss Excelsior are going to take this point, breaking that curse.
This is looking good. The ultimates are looking good from the side of Excelsior. They do have the Sigma ult, they do have the Bastion ult. They could do a Flux Bastion ult coming into this, but you know, they do gotta watch out for Crimson's window going into this.
Yeah, it seems that whenever Shadowy uses ult here, Crimson's always got an answer for it with his immortality. And we are seeing the early battle come out here, forcing with Excelsior just to kite it out. It's a very smart move there, as you don't want to engage into this battle, as it's a lot of heavy damage, especially with the Bastion from Turgid. And it's looking like Verb does get a pick here onto Persky, as they were caught out in the backline. However, they do get the point advantage right now, with Shadowy using his ult here, and I don't think they have this immortality to combat that, as they do get a pick here onto this Brig, but Shadowy is kind of forced out as they are very low. Target is kind of left by himself with after that Brig got picked off, and Shadowy once again is going to get picked off. However, they did get a 30%, which is quite a decent percentage there for them.
Yeah, they also got some ults coming into this fight too. Though they do gotta watch out. Grim does have ultimates coming into this too, like Blade and Downpour, which are two really big ultimates and fighting ultimates going into this fight.
Yeah, it's how are you going to stop them from being able to use this? As we do see this early Genji ult come out with a combination of a Brig. It was a huge anti from Tark, unfortunately not able to get this Genji just before getting a pick onto Ichbin. And January and Turgid are both picking off the rest of the team right now. Again, it's looking unfortunate for the side of Bliss Excelsior. I mean, that Genji just ulted with the hazard ult, as you mentioned earlier.
The Haz is doing so much for them right now. I like how but Percy's just trying to spawn camp the map right now as we speak. And he gets the pick with it. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, this Hazard is just doing so much well for them, but Percy's is doing so good right now with these off angles. Huh?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, getting that early pick onto the map is very, very vital, as it kind of just takes away one of your supports, meaning that you've only got your Brig, which can't sustain just as much as having your Brig and your Bat, meaning that they just had to push back. However, Shadowy is looking just to kind of push into. However, does get walled off here from the Hazard. He is forced to come back to his team and not be as much in their face. We do see the Bastion ult come out from Turgid, catching no one, but Shadowy does fall very, very low, and it is blocked off from the rest of his team, unfortunately, and they are going to jump onto that. I mean, without a tank, I don't know what you're going to do here. Tark does have the nano. He's probably going to look to nano someone here, as it is overtime. As he do nano this Bastion, who is going to try and look to get a lot of damage off here onto this Hazard, finding this Brig, and maybe getting a pick onto this Bat as well. Unfortunately, I just don't think we have the numbers here to win this. Does Shadowy get a touch here? Unfortunately, he does not get a touch, which means it is now 3-2 to Lykaios Garm right now.
That
As we
looks
s-
like a fight that could go either way. Eh? It's just that each time that Excelsior went to 99, it's just Garm found a way to cap the point and then take the point away from Excelsior and then cap the point each time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, both teams played that really well, but I just think Garm just used what they had better. Unfortunately, as you said, I mean, BX kept on getting it to 99 and then Garm just taking over. But on that note, we will be going for just a little break once again. I mean, it's 3-2 right now to Garm. Are they going to take the win here going 4-2? Or is BX going to pull it back and bring this to a map 7 series? We'll find out after the break. Hello, Kaizen. Welcome back once again to the grand finals for Mixed Tier 5. It is currently 3-2 to Lykaios Garm right now. Is BX going to take the win this map and take it to map 7? We don't know. Each game has been so close, hasn't it, Mango?
Yeah, each game has just been a back and forth battle between the two. Each each fight and each game is just such an exhilarating thing to watch.
100%. Like, both teams are just absolutely giving it their all right now. As for bans, so what bans do we have, Mango?
For the side of Grim, they opt to ban the Ram and the Widow. The Widow is more. Uh, I see it why they ban Widow, because these sight lines and these guys are gonna hit their shots. You know these guys are gonna hit their shots. So taking away that Widow is actually a really good option for them.
Yeah.
Side of Excelsior, they banned Brig and they also banned Baptiste. I think the Brig ban is just the stop, because Brig is just so good at peeling for the other support. So of course getting rid of that, and then the Baptiste is to just get rid of that immortality field so they can actually output more damage.
Yeah, 100%. Bans are very interesting when you bring it into the Overwatch scene, as it can really change a game depending on the ban you make. But we are running out on this double Sig here, as we've not seen January play Sig, as we've just seen a lot of the dominant Hazard here and the Ritter. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this into Shadowy's Sig as well, as we have seen him do quite well on this Sig, as he does fall just a little bit low, as Suko does fall low as well. However, not able to finish these picks off just yet. Both teams are still looking to get that, as Arrow then does get a pick onto Turget. However, January does get a pick onto this Zen here, with Park getting a follow-up tip onto Burb, and then Persky then getting a pick onto Suko, as BX has just won that fight.
Yeah, the Sim is really good. It's a really good pick for them. I feel like I think they really want to try to fake a team behind. I think that's what they were trying to do. But Excelsior is just put so much damage with this Freya and Soldier right now that's just kind of impossible to do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think if I was in Excelsior position right now, I mean, you're 3-2 down right now. You need to win this map. You need to. So they're definitely trying their best here. However, January does get a pick onto Ixin, and Anna does fall really low, with January also falling really low as well. But Turget does get a pick onto Tark. They have no supports right now. They're going to have to push back here, as Turget did just clear up there, getting a pick onto the Freya as well.
Yeah, the high beam Sim turret Sim is just a dangerous threat to deal with. When she's high beam, there's really nothing there that can stop them. You have to either burst her down or just don't give her the opportunity to get the full beam.
Yeah, and it is looking like Garm is going to capture this first point. 4 minutes and a half on the clock. That's quite a nice time to have right now. With 4 minutes and a half, I mean, you have got loads of time, and as you mentioned earlier, with that Sim, it's going to cause Shadowy to have really good issues, as when he uses one of his abilities, it just goes right through it. But we do see a Freya ult come out, making people quite low here, but January does counteract this with a nanoed thingy ult here, getting 2 people here. Unfortunately, I think that's just another fight win for Garm. It looks like they've got quite a lot of momentum here.
Yeah, they're doing so well right now. All this momentum is doing really good. I don't think that Excelsior is doing a really good, is not, setting up as well as they were before.
Yeah, 100%. It's looking like January is really, really good on this Sig as well. I mean, we've seen this. He's quite a versatile and everything here, as he does fall quite low though. However, Shadowy does use ult, and unfortunately, Suko does cancel that ult, forcing them to pull back here, as Burb does get a pick up the Targ and Ichbin here. As we said earlier, I mean, I just think what's happening right now is Garm's just got this momentum going, and they're just not stopping, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just that it's like a rock on a hill. They're just, you give it one push and then they're just rolling. They just keep rolling. Though Arrow does have this ult, we're seeing a Mercy. We're seeing a Pharmacy. yeah, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, well, speaking of this pharmacy, they do manage to get a pick here onto January. This is their time to take back this momentum, as Shadowy does get a pick here onto Crimson, and Arrow then getting a pick onto Turget here. I mean, that's exactly what they needed right now, as if they didn't stop that, they would have capped with so much time there, and it would have just been such a pain for Bliss Excelsior to combat that, really.
I think this pharmacy is just to let Percy do his thing. Just enable him to do his thing. Let him go all out.
Yeah, and we do see the Sim ult come out as well as to combat this Soldier ult here as well. Fortunately, no one's really found anyone as now, as the Soldier is trying to get a few picks here with her ult. As Crimson then gets a pick then onto Shadowy, just as I was saying. As, I mean, now they just have to push back once again, as once you have no tank, it's kind of just over for you. I mean, we see January come back on this hazard, and I'd start panicking as well.
Yeah, January, yeah, January on the hazard, but he was doing really well on the Sigma. I think he wants to try to get more of the high ground availability away from Percy's.
Yeah, and then we just see Percy bring out this Barrett ult, getting a pick here onto Crimson. However, I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with that. However, though, Tark does get a pick here onto Turget, with Shadowy then getting a pick onto Burb, and Arrow getting a pick then onto January, stopping them just before they cap it here. We do see Mercy ult come out here, and we do see the res onto this Barrett.
Yeah, Percy with the pharmacy is doing a lot of damage. I think on the side of Garm, they do have lane, so they do have downpour. So all they really have to do really is force cart. If they lane on cart and then downpour, I think that would be enough to get the point.
Yeah, 100%. It's exactly what they need to do just to get this point. I mean, they are pushing it a little bit now. Are they going to get the C9 here? However, the Soja is all over that. With Percy then get a pick onto Suko here. We do see Nano come out from Tark there. Forcing them. Tark then, sorry, the Shadowy then getting 2 picks here with Percy, then get a pick onto Burb. I mean, what a great defense now. They're really just trying to get this time down.
Yeah, this is doing really well. Team Excelsior is just doing so good right now with this defense. Though Grim does have the downpour, they do have the ultimate to probably end this fight. But Percy just finds the pick on the Crimson, so they have to reset here.
Yeah, but then Suko does get a follow-up pick though onto Arrow, and the Mercy just get pulled out here with this downpour coming out, getting the Mercy here, with Suko then getting a pick onto Arrow here. We do see the Sig ult come out quite early, just trying to find a pick here. However, it does find no one, but January does fall very low, using this Barrett ult to get a pick onto January. However, the point is going, do we get the C9 here? Unfortunately not. We do see the Soldier come back just in time, just before the C9, with the Soldier, not the Soldier, sorry, with the Sig getting a pick here onto Verb, and then the Soldier just trying to get this Mercy here to stop allowing them from pocketing this Barra. However, we are on the ball now, just trying to get to the point in time with this Soldier ult coming out from Turget. January then finding Persky. Unfortunately, we do see this ult come out from Arrow, finding Crimson here. They need to cap this, or they need to defend this, with Arrow then get a pick onto January. I mean, what a fight that was. Both teams were just back into there.
Yeah, it kind of puts you on your toes a bit, just watching that. But Percy does switch off the Far and go the Venture now, which is going to be interesting. So I'm thinking they're probably going to opt to probably pocketing Arrow now. Oh wait, nope. Percy goes back to Far. Never mind.
I know, that happens so many times. Persky is just looking to get a one-off pick here with this pharmacy going right now. With an Arrow using his rock, I mean, they might see 9 again. You need to watch out this point, as it's very, very close to this the end here. Crimson is very, very low. Are they going to be able to find them here? Arrow just managed to find Crimson here, but January does get a pick on the target. However, Persky then get a pick onto January. And unfortunately, I just think they've just stopped them right here.
Yeah, I think Excelsior just found. I think they found it.
I think they found the rhythm.
Yeah, because the rock was just rolling, and now they're at a flat land, and the rock isn't rolling now.
Switching sides.
Yeah, they've done so well to stop that. I mean, they had 4.5 minutes coming into this final point, and they didn't even cap. What a defense from Bliss Excelsior on this final point. Unfortunately, I just wish they would have done something like that in the very beginning and stopped them a lot earlier. However, later is better than never.
Yeah. Going into this, what do you think they're gonna go to Sigma again, or do you think they're gonna go to Hazard again? Eh? I think they might. Yeah.
I think January is definitely gonna probably, as we just seen them, do the Sig on defense, just because with Circuit being such like a very hit scan dominant map, it's hard to play Hazard into that. I mean, we've seen it come out a bit, but I feel like that was as like a last resort, as Bliss Excelsior were just holding them and they weren't able to get past that. So at that point you think, well, what do I need to switch to fix that? But unfortunately for Garm, it didn't work. And as we see now, I mean, they've got a chance of winning this now. They just need to make sure that they are engaging quick, making sure that they get the momentum early.
4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1. Attackers incoming.
Yeah, right, coming into this now, we're running back out on this Power again. However, no Mercy this time. So this might make it a bit harder for this Power to get value, especially into the Soldier from Turgid. With an anti onto Suko. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to find Suko here, as they are abusing this high ground here. Arrow falling very, very low. They do have the self-heal ability, but Shadowy then getting a pick onto January, forcing their team just to push back. I mean, this is the momentum they need right now. As we said earlier, and I'll say it again, they need to win this game to be able to have a chance of winning the grand finals.
Yeah, I think Excelsior is on this Pharah is just doing so well. First, he's just playing these like angles, right? He's not playing in the open. He's playing these corners well so that he doesn't get shot down by target.
Yeah, 100%. Percy's been really showing up in these last few games here. Like, taking them off angles, on that Soldier at first. That was Percy, wasn't it? And then he was on the Pharah as well. Really showing up right now. However, we do see the Rock come out. Unfortunately, not being able to catch anyone, but then Persky then getting a pick onto January here. However, Turgid gets a pick onto Shadowy. Both teams have not got a tank here. It's going to be interesting to see which team comes out on top. With then Persky getting a pick onto Suko here, it's looking like this Excelsior might capture his first point. 5 minutes on the clock to capture his first point right now. I mean, that's a great position they want to be in right now.
Yeah. Perseus does have the ult. Tark does have the nano. I mean, if I was Tark, I'd probably be looking at either nano arrow or Tark here. But on the side, they do have the nano also, so they could nano target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both. It really depends on how you use your ult and how you get value off it. But speaking of that, Perseus does get a pick here onto January again, forcing Garm probably gonna have to push back once again. I mean, I think if I was Garm right now, I would be trying to maybe run a double hit scan, as you can tell that this Pharah is really doing a lot for the Excelsior right now. So I just think they need to support their Soldier here with another hit scan, I think.
Yeah, definitely like a Sojourn would definitely be beneficial for the team of Garm.
Yeah, and we are seeing some ults come out here right now with a combination of this huge Zen ult from Xpin, as all the ults are pretty much useless here, as you can tell, as VX do clear up right now. Only using 2 ults there, as for the side of Garm, they use quite a lot of ults there as well.
Yeah, Excelsior with 5 minutes on the clock. That's a big bank to chop down. Garm is gonna have to try to pull, like, stretch these fights out as long as possible and try to win each fight.
Yeah, 100%, as we do see that Bliss Excelsior trying to go down a bit more of an aggressive route and just push into the team. They're definitely just doing this to get some more cart progress. We do see Nano come out from Tark onto Shadowy, with Persky then getting a pick onto Turgid, and Arrow then getting 2 huge picks onto Suko and Crimson as well. And it's looking like Bliss Excelsior are going to get to push this around this corner. This is really a good position for them, as when you get to around this corner, that high ground is normally a lot more dominant for them, as we see them switch over to the ball just to try and get some stall time. Tark does fall really low, and Verb does get a pick onto Targ. That's a really good pick for Garm, and it's exactly the pick they need. I think, unfortunately, that Bliss Excelsior are now just going to have to push back here.
Yeah.
But just before pushing back, they do get a pick onto Target, though.
Yeah, with Team Excelsior is now going back on the Mercy now, which is they're probably gonna put all of their apples in the basket on Percy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's ult off.
Yeah, especially with this Pharaoh, they might try and combine it just a little bit with this Sig ult from Shadowy as well, as he is coming up to that as well. As for the side of Garm, they don't really have any ults right now. They're just trying to get some ults going, as you need ults for this final fight. Shadowy falling just a little bit low, unfortunately not able to do anything about that with a huge ult from Shadowy here, but we do get a huge cleanse from Verb here, just stopping them from doing it. Percy then getting a pick onto Crimson, and Tark getting a pick onto Turget. It might be looking like they might catch this here.
I think this is looking like...
Yeah, as I think it's just looking like they're just about to cap, and it is going to be 3-all right now. What a map from BX. I mean, the defense was a bit shaky up until that final point, but that attack was just flawless. I mean, they spent most of it just pushing the pot and really just showing their dominance.
Yeah, I think the person who shied out the most is definitely Percy. It's like Percy's on that fire was just doing so much, and honestly, I thought it was gonna get when he switched over to fire. I thought Target was definitely gonna be putting some pressure on him, but nobody was putting any pressure on Percy's at all.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like, it was just a flawless performance from them. However, though, with it being 3-3, guys, please stay tuned, as this is the last map now. Whoever wins this map takes it all. We will be seeing you back in the break. Stay tuned. Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. We are currently on map 7 of the grand finals of Tier 5. It is 3-3. Whoever wins this map takes it all, guys. A lot is at stake right now, Mango. Am I right?
Yeah, the final map for both teams. This is the last map, last fights, last to do anything. So, and these bans are pretty interesting too, eh?
Initiating
With Graham banning Orisa and Bastion, both of those characters Excelsior has been playing a lot. So these are
Yeah.
really good bans from Graham. With the side of Excelsior, they banned Venture and Lucio, which honestly I think is a good thing because Grim does play Venture also, and the Lucio, it's just the ban him to get rid of the Lucio, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I also think Garm, sorry, banned the Orisa because they want to play the hazard here. It's what they're comfortable on. Last map, you want to play what you know, you know?
Yep. And that's what the
But
way we're on
honestly,
right now.
like this series has just been so exhilarating. I mean, 3-3 is absolutely crazy. I mean, the script is scripting, I guess. But as both teams are coming in, we're coming out on this Pharaoh once again. As we've seen what it done last map, it was very dominant. So I'm excited to see what they do with this. However, we've seen January in this hazard, especially on a control map like this. They are definitely going to be comfortable here. Both teams are just looking to find that initial pick. Both just trying to do as much damage as they can just to give themselves the upper hand here. We do see hazard jump on the soldier. However, the soldier does manage to get out. Shadowy on the point. However, Turget and Psycho just get a pick here onto Persky and Arrow here. I mean, that's to me looking like the X are not going to get this first capture on this point right now, as they lost a lot of the team. Shadowy is trying to go out with a fight though, fortunately staggering himself just a little bit though.
Yeah, I mean the fire got picked. Asuka is definitely look at the fire on this match. He wants to make sure that Perseus does not get a chance to do anything this game. And January on this hazard is just putting in that work.
Yeah, 100%. He's always doing that every single game. He's always putting that effort. However, Shadowy then gets a pick though onto Turget, with Persky getting a pick onto Suko. I mean, great first pick initially. However, though, Crimson gets a pick onto this hazard. However, Arrow then getting a back pick onto January. I mean, it's looking like they're going to cap this point again now. I mean, again, this is this back end too. Both teams are just trying to get this pick. However, they are not going to stagger the back here, which is, I mean, a huge stagger considering a few maps ago Garm was staggering as well. You can see the retaliation there, I guess. I mean...
Yeah,
as we see this,
both teams are doing really good. January with the hazardal, Suko with the visors, so they could go in here with this. But Shadow does have the downpour, and Percy is coming up on the far also.
Yeah, and we do see this battle come out with this downpour from Shadowy, pretty much making them not being able to use it. We see downpour also come out from January. I don't think it caught anyone though, fortunately, with Shadowy then getting a pick onto Crimson, with then Arrow getting a pick onto January. Suko then getting a follow-up pick to Shadowy. I mean, they both got no tanks. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top here, as we see this break ult come out from H-Fin. Finding no one, unfortunately, but Persky does find Turget here, meaning that the rest of Garm are going to have to get out of here, or they will unfortunately get picked off. We do see Shadowy now come back from Bliss Excelsior, with also all of Garm also back ready to go. Both teams need to win this. As we've mentioned earlier, the stakes are high, so it's really interesting to see how they're going to play under this pressure.
Yeah, I think Suko needs to go in this offing and try to find Perseus, because Perseus is being the big threat right now, which they do. They're going in with Visor, Suko is.
Yeah, both teams hold that Visor. However, Tark does bring out this early Juno ult. Shadowy then gets a pick onto Crimson. We do see this Rig ult come out from Burb, and January then finds H-Fin. Shadowy is kind of in the backline. Unfortunately, I think he's kind of just left there by himself as it is overtime right now. And unfortunately, I don't think Bliss Excelsior are going to be able to win this as they do not have the numbers.
Yeah, I think going into this, I think Excelsior is going to have the ultimate advantage to do this. They are coming up with down 4. They're kind of halfway with Rally. On the side of Grim, though, they're barely coming up on downpour also. So one good downpour could be the end of the fight for Grim.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they both are coming up, but January then getting 2 picks, so I mean, what a performance of January this whole series. I mean, that hazard has just been absolutely crazy.
Yeah, fighting 3, January fighting 3, and gets the downpour online. January is just a beast right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this final fight, both hazards do have downpour. I imagine January might try and use this to try and stop them from getting onto this point here. Or unfortunately, he does manage to get here, and they don't catch anyone with that downpour. But Turget then getting a pick onto Arrow here. I mean, Shadowy then getting a pick onto Suko. We do see his downpour does find Shadowy here, and he is stuck in here by himself. Unfortunately, I think he might get picked off here, as he's very, very low, as Turget then does get the pick, and it is now currently 1-0 to Garm here.
Yeah, this is gonna be the map. Each team is looking so good right now. Each team is a back and forth struggle with each. Like, both teams are just incredible right now. They're actually doing a mirror too, so both teams are on the same comp. So, well, wait, they might go on Mercy here. Excelsior might go on Mercy. Oh, never mind. Okay,
no, just playing a little joke on us. Yeah, as you mentioned, both teams are in a complete mirror at the moment, so it's just whoever's better at this point. Which so far Garm are looking to be the stronger, especially in control. I mean, they won the first control map in the series, so it might be something that they're a lot more confident on. As for the side of Bliss Excelsior, they win a lot more on like the hybrid maps like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if Bliss Excelsior can win now. Obviously, they need to win this point, or it's over for them, unfortunately. With Shadowy getting a pick, though, an early pick onto Suko here, it's going to cause him to really not be able to do anything, as Arrow then also gets a pick onto Turget. Then Shadowy also following up with Crimson and Burb, leaving January all by himself, unfortunately for Garm. Bliss Excelsior will cap this first bit.
What I'm hoping that doesn't happen from Excelsior is that they do the exact same thing they did on Cervasa, which they get the 99.
The 99 curse, no.
Yeah, this is what I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But they're looking strong right now, so I hope that they keep it going up, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you keep your momentum going. Arrow did just get a pick onto Crimson here, meaning that they're down a Juno. Unfortunately, that might just mean that they need to pull back just a little bit here, as Shadowy also has to pick onto Bird here. I mean, these early picks is exactly what they need, as you want to get as much time as you can to on your clock, like the most percentage that you can get, sorry. Just so that when it comes to the ult fight, you know, when everyone pops their ults, that even if you lose, you still got 99%, or you still got a lot of percentage on your behalf.
Yeah, and Percy coming up with the ultimate. He's probably gonna try to look for Bush or Crimson here. But they both Junos use their torpedoes.
Yeah, and then Arrow and Percy getting a pick onto Suko and Crimson, but January does manage to get a pick onto Tark. However, Arrow does pick off January here. Again, it's looking like Excelsior are going to win this fight as well. I mean, these quick team fights are always like good, but also have like a thing of like, you know, if it's too fast and you win too many team fights too quick, there's a good chance that they have more time to come back and recontest. As we've seen that Garms are really good at, is coming back when it looks like they're going to lose and just winning. We do see both pads come out from both teams. Shadowy is stuck over there by the rest of the team. Arrow, however, does get a pick of the Burb with the break ult coming out, finding Crimson there. And Arrow then finding January. It's looking like it's a 1-1 right now to both teams.
My god. This is the game. This is it.
Score.
This
The
is the
last
round, guys.
the last map, the last everything.
Like, you can't make this up. Every single game has been so close. And it's just hard to see who's taking this now. Because, I mean, first point, Garm looked very strong, very confident. And then second point, Bliss Excelsior looked very strong, very confident. What's going to happen, Mango? I have no idea.
It's up in the air, really. We do see maybe they are playing the Reaper. From Grim. Grim is playing the Reaper. Oh no, they're playing the May.
Capture the objective.
Oh.
I mean, I think you're at a point now is what can you do now? What's going to give you the upper hand in this last point? This is all that matters right now is who's going to win this last point. Whoever wins this last point is the winners here. We do see January coming in quite early, quite fast, with Shadowy trying to stop him from getting that momentum. Crimson falling quite low here. Fortunately, I don't think they're able to pick him off just yet, but Shadowy just jumped in, getting Crimson here. However, Burb gets the pick onto Ichbin here, with Shadowy then getting a pick onto Burb and Turget here. I mean, what a performance. I always have to say it, it's just what a performance.
Oh my. I think I see the direction that Grim is going with this May. They want to try to wall off the Shadow from going in, but as they do switch up into the Reaper. So I'm thinking they're trying to do more of a frontline approach here, try to burst them down. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Garma's done a full rotation here onto the point, meaning that Break is all by himself here. They are trying to get the second pick in this Break, but Turget does get a pick here onto Arrow. With then Persky then getting a pick onto Crimson, with then Suko Turget getting a pick onto Tark and Shadowy. I think they're just trying to stall here, try and get as much percentage on this as you can, as that's what you want to do right now, as the rest of your team is dead. You just need to get this percentage. Which, I mean, 40% is a good percentage here. However, Garm managed to take it back, which is exactly what they need. However, you just have to wait for the team to get back now, as they don't really have the numbers. But we do see a Pulse Bomb come out, unfortunately not finding anyone at this moment. We are seeing January try and push in and try and get Arrow here, which they do, leaving the backline all by themselves. However, there is an appeal for his support, as Shadowy is in the backline right now. We do see Downpour come out from January, unfortunately finding no one, but Tark is very low. We do see Shadowy also use it, finding Crimson, and then Percy finding Burb here. Recall is used with Shadowy then getting a pick onto Suko. I mean, what a fight right now. I mean, both teams are just getting pick after pick. We do have Shadowy here with the Soldier against Turget, and Turget is going to try and push out here, as it is them by themselves. I mean, both teams, I think, are going to get back in about the same time.
Team Grim does have the Beyblade, and does have the Beyblade, so they might try to just go and try really go really fast to the backline. But they do got to watch out for Team Excelsior's Gregor.
Yeah, but they do get an early pick here onto Arrow here, which is a huge pick from Crimson there, with Super then getting a pick onto Ichbin. I mean, that's exactly what I mean. Both Gregors came out there and they benefited Garm the most here. I mean, 65 to 44 right now. I just think Bliss Excelsior are going to try and stall for as long as they can right now. With 70% on the clock, they need to win this next team fight to get the momentum back.
Now, these stalls from Excelsior are doing so well in their favor. 70% to 50, that's a huge margin. It's if they get point, all they really need to do is win 2 team fights, and then they should be good. But
yeah, with then Crimson getting a pick onto Ichbin and Turget getting a pick onto Tark, with Suko then getting a pick onto Shadowy. I mean, it's looking even right now, 70-70 right now. However, Bliss Excelsior have the ults right now. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. They'll probably engage here with an early Juno ult.
yeah, they should engage with Juno ult, maybe a little bit of a visor, but we'll see what goes on.
Yeah, and as we do, we see this Juno come out with the combination of Arrow on this Soldier, getting 2 here, with Shadowy then getting a pick onto January. I mean, that was like a really quick cleanup for them, as that's exactly what they needed. I mean, they might have invested a lot of ults there, but they still have this Tracer and this Downpour, but January does also have this Downpour as well. I mean, Mango, this actually is crazy. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the team goes in. Both teams use the down four, and it's looking good. The cycle and target find the picks to go in there.
Yeah,
Crimson
as
on.
Arrow does get a pick off the burb. However, we do have this Reaper on this point right now. I don't think they're going to be able to touch this, to be honest. I do think that we do see the winner. That might be Garm. Unfortunately, I think Bliss Excelsior might lose this. As it's only got the Tracer on the point right now. However, Juno and the Brig is back to support this Tracer. With then Park falling to January. However, Brig ult comes out. And I think
Oh no. There
and
goes the gorilla.
oh my god, it is currently 4-3 to Garm, which is our next tier 5 champions.
Play of the game.
My god, that was a match. Both sides being so equal each time. Like, I don't think we ever saw a point where like we were like, oh, what are they doing here? It's always like, oh my god, they are doing just so good every single time, man.
Yeah, I completely like. This whole series was just back and two, back and two. But Garm, I mean, they showed consistency through all of this, and I think they completely deserved this win. Either way, I think it would have been deserved. I just think they just had that little edge there with that hazard.
Hmm.
But Mango, as for MVP, I'm quite set on my two MVPs, and I'm going to tell you why.
Hmm.
So from the side of BX, I think it's going to be both the tanks. Garm and BX both played such great tanks, showed consistency across a few. Obviously, I do think like both teams, you could make an argument for any team and why they got MVP. I just think Shadowy on this hazard, on the Orisa, on the Sigma, and the same for January was just so dominant. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the same thing. I think Shadow
Yeah.
and January do deserve these MVPs. Um, I think my section, yeah, I think those two would be really good.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Well, while we sort out these MVPs, guys, because stay tuned, we are going to interview these MVPs. We will just go to a little break just to sort out getting them in, making sure, they're ready, they're prepped, So, guys, stay tuned.
Alrighty.
Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. We are joined here today from the MVP from BX, Shadowy. Hello, Shadowy. How are you? Unfortunate loss,
Hello.
but you guys really worked and you've done so well.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of how we turned our season around because we started 2-4 in regular season and then took the undefeated team to a map 7 last round of control. So we take those. We're happy with those.
100%. Which brings me to my first question. It's like, what do you feel like you've done really well today?
Honestly, picking up on our mental when we lost maps and just bouncing back, like, especially after I can't remember what. Oh no, it was Gibraltar. Gibraltar was a massive issue for us, and we were very morally down after that. But we picked it up a lot on Runa's Happy, and then carried it onwards. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that Gibraltar map, we agreed. It was a bit unfortunate for you guys. However, as you said, you bounced back in the next map and you just won the next map. I mean, the way this went out, it was like you won one. Sorry, they won one, you won one, they won one, you won one, they won one. Do you know what I mean? It was just so much back into, but it was so good to watch from us, which brings us to Mango here. I think he's got another question for you.
Yep. So, y'all were facing the undefeated people. What were your thoughts and ideas going into each and one of these maps, going into the undefeated team, man?
I think we thought that every map was winnable. We've only lost until map 7. We've only lost maps to them on NA ping, one on EU, I think, in week 8. So we saw every map as winnable, especially after the first map, Nepal, when we took it to 0.3 and almost won that one. We thought every map was winnable, so we just kind of went into that with every map with that mindset of anything's winnable. We just need to focus up.
Yeah, everything looked really good from your side. Yeah. Would you like to take the next question?
Yeah, was there any specific strategies going into this? Obviously, you played them before. So, was there something you knew that they were good at, and you were like, okay, we might ban around this, or you might play this to counter it, if you know what I mean?
We kind of knew January was a very, very good Hazard player, and then he played Orisa on the previous series, so we knew he was going to play those. We knew Bat Brig was a comfort one, so we kind of just had those on our mind and then picked around it. Venture as well was one that we struggled against in the winners finals, so we thought if we ban that out or have a mirror on the EU, it works better in our favor, and it did. And I think the circuit map as well, banning the brig when our main support is a brig enjoyer, let's call it. But we had an idea for that just so we could have brig for last map, and it kind of worked well because we expected them to ban brig.
That last map was obviously very, very close. It wasn't very one-sided. They capped one, you capped one, and the last one was 97 to 99, whatever it was,
Yeah.
But
insanely close.
Insanely close, considering it was the final map as well. But to close off this interview, I think Mango's going to take this for you.
Yeah. Obviously, all of your players were so phenomenal, and everyone really enjoyed watching your team play. I'm pretty sure all us as the casters and everybody really liked watching y'all play. So the question is there anything else in the future for y'all? Like, are y'all gonna be continuing with anything else in the future?
I know I'm very 50-50 just because I made plans before this ended for CGL. However, I might stick with them now, just how well we've done. But I know the other 4 core, like Ishbin, Tark, Percy, and Arrow, are going to be staying in the starting lineup for CGL GM. And then I'm kind of 50-50 for it. So we'll see for that. But I know even without me, I know those guys are going to do very, very well in GM just because of how well we've done today.
Yeah, all of y'all were looking great, and I'm pretty sure even if y'all don't stick together, y'all are gonna be doing really fine, eh?
100%.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, thank you so much, Shadow. I mean, it's such an unfortunate loss for you guys. However, at least you went out with such a good fight. Is there anyone you want to shout out before we end this interview?
Kind of everybody, really. Just the 4 that I mentioned for AGLs like Tark, Ishbin, Percy, and Arrow, especially Percy, because he came in. Well, me and Percy didn't play a single game in regular season. Came into this like fresh in playoffs, beat the team we didn't beat in regular season, then took this team that we just lost to a 3-2, then 3-0'd the team that we couldn't beat in regular season again, and then took these guys to a map 7. So yeah, everybody in the team did insanely well, even the people that didn't play today. I'm proud of all of them, and Percy especially I'm proud of, just because of how late he came into it, but how much of an impact he had.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming, Shadow, and thank you so much for
Thank
putting
you
on
for
such a good
having me.
show for us. We will be moving on, Kaizen, to the MVP. Well, not the MVP. They couldn't show up. However, we do have Suko from Garm coming up very soon, guys. Hello, Kaizen, and welcome back. We are joined here from the winners team. Suko, congrats on winning, man. It's such a good game.
Thank you. It was a really fun one. It was fairly close. It was a challenge to play on ping. Um, Bliss has a bunch of good players, and
Yeah.
it was fun how exciting it was. Taking it to that map 7 was something. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, that takes me to my first question for you, Suko. I'm just wondering, like, what do you feel like you've done really well in this game?
Um, I don't. I think there were some maps where I did exceptionally well. Some that I did somewhat poorly. I think on Runasapi, for example, being on very high ping into a good brawl comp, I think I was able to do pretty well on Venture. My tank was able to enable me. Even comboing the Orisa Venture ult was a very powerful thing to do. Although we didn't win, that was one
It
thing
was a
I
good
felt
map.
like it was a really good map. I think some maps where I was able to play Tracer, I was able to kind of work lanes and mark people. I thought I did a good job of that. But I want to say January also did such a good job. So I want to speak for him a little too, because he can't be here. But
Yeah, 100%. But you know what? I mean, I personally don't feel like there was a map where I felt like your team done bad. You know, I still think
yeah,
there was like a lot of the times you, although we might have lost the map, it was very close for you guys, which I think leads to Mango's question for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, y'all were the undefeated team. Y'all were the team everybody was looking at. going into this team that climbed all the way up into finals, were there like any like plans, anything you were looking at, any ideas that you were going into this map specifically?
I guess in the band phase, or we had some thoughts initially of like I expected to see more Symmetra. I felt like Nepal, we played against them before. They had a really strong Symmetra. And so I think most of the thoughts that we had came from like breaking down and brainstorming in the band phase of knowing like strengths and weaknesses and like what kind of comps they like to play, what kind of things will be good into it, like what will benefit us. Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
More like
everything
in the
y'all,
moment.
yeah, all of the bands that y'all picked and all of the ideas was pretty good. Like every single time, it was just on point. But other than that, Finny, would you like to take the next question?
Yeah, was there anything like you've done to become such a good team? Like pre-Kaizen, during Kaizen, like what was like, how did that come together? Because obviously, as my co-host Mango was just talking then, you were undefeated through all of Kaizen. Like, what got to that point, you know?
So I think I'm probably, or me and Burbhouse 17 are the newest players. We have two supports, or two flex supports for like what kind of heroes their strengths are, like Baptiste, Kiriko. But
Mm-hmm.
prior to that, it's a fairly new team. There's like some core members that have known each other for a while and have played with each other for a very long time. But I'm fairly new, and I think it was just from a lot of scrimming and coaching and
Mm-hmm.
putting in practice to see what my own issues are and how I can better them and like build chemistry with my team, like connecting with my tank on a dive or getting into a 3-2 split, like splitting with my Lucio or um even giving callouts. I think I think our coach Wolfie did a really good job of kind of like bringing all the new players together because I think I've only been on this team for maybe 4 months. It's an okay amount of time, but
Yeah.
I think it was
I mean,
from scrimming and coaching and VOD reviewing myself and uh, practicing because I think the core that we have are all they're all very strong players like Turget, Any Blue, and January.
yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have said that yous all looked like you've played for together for a while. So saying that you're new is very impressive. Like, it looked like you guys knew how to play around each other's, what you were all doing. You were in control of how your comps worked. But I think that leads to then Mango's final question for you.
Yeah. Y'all two in the finals have been the most, fun everyone's been seeing. So the real question is like, is there something more after this that y'all are gonna be doing, or like, are we gonna where like, are y'all gonna be doing more after this?
Yeah, I think we're looking to continue in Face It. Currently, we're in a open division, climbing through. Maybe I guess for
Yeah,
the
that's
future, I'm
nice.
not really sure, but at least I know for a fact that we're looking to play Face It, or we are playing Face It right now. It's been fun. I think just like build as a team. But one thing that's really important is that we're all good friends. Like we've all became good
Yeah.
friends and can just like hang out with each other. Um, and yeah, we became all very close. Like I love my teammates; they're all wonderful, and my coach.
That's great.
Yeah, well, just before we let you go, Psycho, is there any shout outs for anyone? Anyone you feel like really stood out?
I want to shout out my coach, Dan Wolfie. Uh, he's there's times where he's kind of harsh on us, but no one ever takes it in meaning of like anger or I don't know how to word it, but he's hard, but he's very like disciplinary. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
jumbling my words.
It's all right.
He's a good coach. He tells us straight like what we're doing wrong, makes fun of us for doing things wrong, and then he'll like keep us in check.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Zuko. I mean, we really enjoyed
course.
this game. You guys really put on a great show for us. But that is everything we've got for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I did want to say one last thing.
Go for it. Go for
That
it.
last map, that last map when we won, I typed something a little toxic. I said lol. Something about shadowy. And I felt bad. Like as soon as I typed that, I was like, okay, that was like really unsportsmanlike, and I felt bad. I think we should give like all the respect to Bliss. There's some good players. And I'm not the same person I was 10 seconds after I won. Because I think both teams put on
Do you know
a
what? I
good
think
fight.
I think you just had the adrenaline, you know,
Yeah,
and
but
that
still,
happens.
it felt a little rude. So I wanted to at least say that, and hopefully, Bliss are like, okay, like he realizes that wasn't cool.
Well, we always
But yeah.
appreciate someone owning up to something, and we appreciate you telling everyone that as well. So that's very nice of you to do. And as I
Mhm.
said, we appreciate you being here. We hope to see you guys next season of Kaizen as well.
Yeah,
And yeah, thank you so much.
yeah. It was fun to do this interview. Fortunately, January had a class to go to, but I felt like he also would have given a lot of great answers, great
Similar.
responses.
Yeah.
Would have been a good discussion with him. He's a phenomenal tank player.
Yeah, that hazard definitely is phenomenal. Right, guys, and well, there were our interviews for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to a 7-map series, guys. Congratulations to Lykaios, Garm here. They were absolutely phenomenal. And that is everything. I have been Finny. That has been Mango.
Yeah.
We had Slayer on the camera. Please stay tuned for future streams, guys, as there's still many more grand finals to watch, hopefully just like this one. Thank you so much.